newsbreak coming in on the protests that are broken out in Bangladesh over the arrest of a Hindu priest. These are dramatic images that you see on your screens from Chittagong when the police started attacking Hindu protesters. This is at the court premises. We've had, in fact, minority Hindus hitting the streets in protest over the crackdown on the ISKCON priest, Chinmoy Das. And now it's taking a violent turn in places like Dhaka and Chittagong. And this footage is proof of the same. The police army is seen there attacking some of the protesters, attacking Hindus, resorting to lathi charge to disperse the gathering. Scary images of really the showdown and clashes that are broken out in places like Chittagong. I want to bring in Ashutosh Mishra, who's joining us live with more details on the situation currently in Bangladesh. You're seeing widespread protests taking place, Ashutosh, over the fact that we've seen, the arrest of the prominent ISKCON priest who was essentially leading these agitations, demanding safety for Bangladeshi Hindus. And amid this, complete silence, not a word of assurance from the Bangladeshi regime.
Not a single word. Forget about police and army. In fact, the videos, because the people, those who have been sending us the video, they are very much at the Chittagong Metropolitan Court. In fact, when Chinmoy Das was being produced, his bail was denied, he was sent. And because the people, those who gathered in a huge number, were from the Hindu minority communities, they were demanding justice and bail to Chinmoy Das. And all of a sudden, we saw there's a kind of chaos. The police and the armed forces started firing tear shells on them. The rubber bullets were used. What we know that number of people that are injured is more than 100. More than 100 people have been injured. I'm receiving the information. In fact, one of my sources, Sakshita, you'll have to give me a minute. They're also, sending me messages. In a minute, they will stream some videos from there. We have to protect their identities because the moment they are named or their face come on TV, we never know whether they'll be able to see the next morning. So that's a kind of situation. They are somewhere hiding at different places and they want to stream these videos. They are pretty much at the court. So you have to just give me 10 seconds so I make a call and inform him that he has received the live streaming. You need to give me a 10 seconds, Akshita.
We'll come back to you, Ashutosh, for those updates. Ashutosh getting us live updates right now of what the situation is in Bangladesh. He's speaking to his sources to get you more images of the protests, the clashes that have broken out. Let's get you a roundup of what's happened so far in Bangladesh. There's anger visibly on the streets of Bangladesh's minority Hindus are staging massive protest over the arrest of ISKCON monk Chinmoy Das. Protesting Hindus were attacked in Dhaka and Chittagong by extremists, leading to several people sustaining injuries. Chinmoy Das, remember, was leading protests advocating for the protection of the Hindu minorities in Bangladesh amid rising atrocities after a change in regime, and he was suddenly taken into custody under charges of sedition. Chinmoy Das today was produced in the Bangladesh court where he urged Hindus to continue their fight. He was in a big setback, denied bail by the court in the sedition case. Condemning the incident, the Bengal BJP has announced that they will be holding a protest in Kolkata today, blocking also the Petropol border in a significant message that they want to send across. That's the border between India and Bangladesh. You've got several messages of condemnation coming in. One among them is spiritual leader Sadhguru, who's condemned the incident and said Bangladesh is no longer following democratic principles.
আজকে তিনি একজন সাধু মানুষ, তার যে এটা আছে ওই সাধু মানুষ, তিনি যে মোবাইল আছে সেই মোবাইলটা নিয়েই তাকে টানাটানি করা হয়, একটা অপমান। তিনি যখন বলছেন যে আমি স্বেচ্ছায় যেতে চাই, তারপরেও যে টানাটানি করে তুলে নিয়ে আসছে ডিবি অফিসে। আমরা যখন ডিবি অফিসে যাই, প্রশ্ন করি যে এখানে চিন্ময় প্রভুকে তুলে আনা হয়েছে কিনা, তারা এ বিষয়ে কিছু জানেন না এবং আমাদের কোনো কিছু জানার নাই। আমরা আইনের প্রতি সর্বদাই শ্রদ্ধাশীল, আইনকে সর্বদাই শ্রদ্ধা করি। আমাদের সাথে আছেন, আমাদের আরো একটা জিনিস বলি, আজকে আমাদের এই যে আন্দোলন করছি এটা হচ্ছে আজকের ভিতরে যদি আমাদের শ্রীমান চিন্ময় কৃষ্ণ ব্রহ্মচারীকে মুক্তি না দেওয়া হয়, আমাদের 8টা বিভাগে আজকে মানববন্ধন হবে রাতে এবং 64 জেলা ব্যাপী কালকে আমাদের প্রতিবাদ হবে।
যে ঘটনাগুলো ঘটছে, চিন্ময় প্রভুকে যেভাবে গ্রেপ্তার করা হয়েছে এবং আমরা বারবার তাদের পরিচয় জিজ্ঞেস করছিলাম এবং কি কারণে, এবং এই বিষয়গুলো কিন্তু কোনো কিছুই তারা না বলে যে আপনি উঠেন উঠেন বলে কিন্তু একরকমের জোর করে তাকে তুলে নেওয়া হয়েছে। ডিবি কার্যালয় ওই সামনে থেকেই আমরা জানিয়েছি যে 2 ঘন্টার মধ্যে তাকে মুক্তি দেওয়ার জন্য আমরা রাষ্ট্রযন্ত্রের কাছে, সরকারের কাছে অনুরোধ করেছি। 2 ঘন্টার মধ্যে যদি না করা হয়, আমরা আমাদের ঢাকেশ্বরী মন্দিরে আমরা হিন্দু সম্প্রদায়ের, সংখ্যালঘু সম্প্রদায়ের সকল নেতৃবৃন্দরা মিলে আমরা ঐক্যবদ্ধভাবে আমাদের পরবর্তী আন্দোলন আমরা ঘোষণা করব।
बांग्लादेश में हिंदू समाज के ऊपर जो अत्याचार हो रहा है और वो सन्यासी ने इसका विरोध किया, नेतृत्व कर रहे हैं, इसलिए उनका ऊपर जबरदस्ती हो रही है। वो कहाँ है, किस स्थिति में है, किसी को मालूम नहीं है। इस प्रकार से वहाँ संख्यालघुओं को दबाने के प्रयास हो रही है।
देखिए, ये बहुत गलत हुआ है और मैं समझता हूँ जिस तरह से पाकिस्तान किया हिंदुओं के साथ, और वही रवैया बांग्लादेश भी अपना रहा है और ये बहुत गलत है। जो लोग थोड़ा सा हिंदू में जागृति आती है और उसका नेतृत्व करते हैं, उनके ऊपर इस तरह से उनकी गिरफ्तारी कर रहे हैं, ये गलत है और इस पर हमारी सरकार को भी संज्ञान लेना चाहिए।
Yunus should step down. Illegal government. World community should come together. All Hindus should come on the road. It's not only the protest. It's a fight of our survival in Bangladeshi Hindus. बांग्लादेश का हिंदू को नाम निशान खत्म करने का कोशिश है। वो मौलवादी सरकार है, इलीगल गवर्नमेंट, यूनुस का सरकार को बर्खास्त तो किया जाए। वर्ल्ड कम्युनिटी को आगे आना चाहिए और यहाँ का हिंदू भी जोर प्रोटेस्ट करेगा।
Okay, let's bring in on this broadcast Mr. Radha Ramandas, ISKCON Vice President. Mr. Ramandas, do you think globally there must be acknowledgement of how Hindus are being treated in Bangladesh, and unfortunately there is a silence on the matter, that nobody seems to be willing to speak up, no country condemning what's happening?
The most shocking thing is that the silence of the international community, United Nations, which sees, like small incidents here and there, and they speak. But we are seeing that in Bangladesh, this cycle of violence is continuing for last so many decades. But hardly United Nations has come in support of the minorities of Bangladesh. So this neglect of Hindu lives, minorities of Bangladesh, is very shocking. And we expect that now since we saw that Tulsi Gabbard and even Donald Trump, they said that they are also aware of what is going on in Bangladesh and they will do something for that. So we are very hopeful that the international community will start speaking in favor of these minorities who are being for last 100 days. Their women are being kidnapped, their properties is being destroyed. So these people will come and will speak in support of these Hindu minorities.
Have you, Mr. Ramandas, spoken to your colleagues in ISKCON in Bangladesh? Is there fear amongst them on what could happen next, especially with a regime that's done nothing to help them out, to protect them? Will ISKCON continue the fight for Hindus in Bangladesh, seeing what's happened to one of your own?
Yes, of course, our devotees they are very, very fearful in Bangladesh. ISKCON has many temples in Bangladesh, and one of the temple they are very big temples, and devotees are now very fearful. They don't know what future holds for them, and they are completely unsure. So there is with whoever I speak, they are very, very morose because international community, they have forgotten Bangladesh. and they also don't know what will happen to them.
All right, Mr. Radha Ramandas, thank you very much for joining us here on India Today. Let's get to more voices now of what people have to say about what's playing out right now in Bangladesh. My colleague Gaurav Sawant spoke to spiritual leader Sri Sri Ravi Shankar over the arrest of the ISKCON seer Chinmoy Das. Here's an excerpt.
Gurudev, what do you make of what's happening to Hindus and other minorities in Bangladesh?
It's so inhuman to see what is happening in Bangladesh against the minorities. I mean, by no standard, this can be acceptable by anybody, either the government or the public. And everyone has a right to protest in a democracy. You can't silence the voice of people who are standing up for their community, especially a Hindu priest. He's not affiliated to any political party. He's there to uplift people's spirit, help them out when they are in need. He's the moral and spiritual guide of the minorities who are there, and arresting them is not going to help in any way, neither the government, nor the majority community, nor the minority community.
And is Bangladesh turning a blind eye deliberately, sir? Because the violence by radical Islamists started right when Sheikh Hasina was ousted from August now to November. That violence continues and appears to be escalating, Gurudev.
No, this was not expected out of a person who got Nobel Peace Prize. Muhammad Yunus, he has been around the globe. He has seen the democracies around the world. He's so well informed and he's so well educated. We expected him to be very fair, and I still hope that he will be very fair with the minorities there, especially the Hindu community. You know, you can't have a big section of your society live in fear like this. And so I would still appeal them to, please bring people together.
And why is this happening, Gurudev?
Take such actions which would completely alienate a section of your own society.